from punching her in her head, in her face. I would walk down this long hallway knowing what I would see when I got there. My mother, hurled on the bed, her long hair down her back. It would be all over her head. The tears running down her face. Sometimes she would have a big knot right here in the middle of her head. Sometimes she would have a big eye. Sometimes there would be blood coming from the corner of her mouth. And the screams that she had for me at 3 years old to come and help her. I'm 3 years old. Why not my older sister, who was around 11 and 12? Because my dad and I, we had this special relationship. I was the apple of his eye, I guess you can say. So I walked down this hallway many nights knowing that I would see that. And I would just say, he would be sitting on the side of the bed with his gun. And he would say, "Lady, they messing with me." I never understood what that meant because it was only he and my mother in the room. I don't know if he had been, in an alcoholic state or a drug-induced state or if he had a mental issue. All I know is that I had to go help my mother because she was screaming out my name to come and save her, just like she had had many mornings before. And so I just stood there as a little girl with my little pigtails in my little pajamas, and I patted my daddy on the back. And I said, "Daddy, everything is going to be okay." And he was calming himself down. And he said, "Go back to bed, lady. Everything will be okay." And so I left. I didn't even look at my mother. I didn't even go to her. I felt like I was betraying her because I idolized my dad still. I loved him. I wanted to please him. I always wanted his attention. But yet, my mother, I don't know whether I just felt like, I was ashamed or embarrassed for her or what. It was a very uncomfortable, confusing situation for a 3-year-old girl to be in. And so as the years progressed, sometimes in the middle of night, he would rape her. And after he had fallen asleep, she would come and wake my sister and I up. "Hurry, get up, get up." And it was on these nights that I'm thinking, oh my God, I know he loves me, but what if he catches leaving? He may end up killing me too. And so we would always go to my grandmother's in town, but he would always come and get us. Either you open the door or I'm going to shoot you. We would always have to go back. And this was my life. It was my life of keeping things a secret. So when that older guy cousin would take me in the back room and feel on me and touch me and just hump on me as a little girl, I didn't tell anybody. Because I was never taught to use my voice. I was never taught to talk about the things that was bothering me, that happened to me. Because what happens in the house stays in the house. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. And so my father ended up going to prison, and you would think, okay, life is about to get better for us. But it didn't. It ended up getting worse. Because for me, as a young teenager, I was feeling a void in my life. And I had to fill that void with somebody just like him. I was around 14 or 15. And then I met this older guy who was fine as I don't know what. And he carried that confidence that my daddy carried. And so I replaced him with my dad. And so he raped me at the age of 16. I was a virgin. And so people was putting pressure on me. If you're going to sleep with him, you're going to lose him. And so I felt powerless. I had to do this. But then we got in this hotel room and I changed my mind. But at that age, I didn't know that I had the ability to actually fight. I said, "No, I don't want to do this anymore." And he said, "Yes, you are." And he raped me. And I just took myself to another place. And after that, to be honest with you, I didn't even know that was really rape. He was my boyfriend. I didn't know you could be raped by your boyfriend. I was never educated on the dynamics of what rape was, just like I was never educated on the dynamics of what domestic violence was. And so I got even more poor self-esteem. I got even more confused, even more angry. But yet I'm going to school like everything